Yeah. Oh, should put that on silent.
Hello and welcome to the Europa League Champions show. Manchester United back in the Champions League, back historically with a trophy they've never won. Domination, shove 6th place up your backside. But in all seriousness, we know the bigger picture. We know the bigger picture, and this is a bit of joy in a moment of horror for Manchester and the world. But Manchester United, Europa League champions from minute 1 to minute 90. You've wasted your Wednesday night, everybody, if you don't like Manchester United, because we're back in the Champions League. We ain't got to play a qualifier like you in the 4th. And for the Arsenal fans, that's what it's like in the Europa League. A bloody nightmare. But we've won it, and we're out. And we're back in the Champions League. Boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And before I go to Marcus, I'm going to get Ross on as well. But before I do, and we go to the live comments, and we're partying for the next hour on this one, everybody. Get a drink, whatever you do, join us and have a good old laugh, because we've got loads to talk about. Transfers. Welcome, and also, welcome to Manchester, Antoine Griezmann. And bring Ronaldo with you, because anything's possible now. But absolutely fantastic. I'll give our defence today 10 out of 10. What a performance. I'm giving everybody 10 out of 10. That is absolutely superb. Absolutely brilliant. Marcus, give us your thoughts.
Absolutely ecstatic, mate. Absolutely. Oh, it's such a relief. We're back in the Champions League. No qualifier. We're straight in there. And, you know, the list, the A list and the B list for the summer transfers, Griezmann, this is Manchester United. Welcome here, man. Bring it on.
He was crying before we went live, and tell you what, I can understand if you're crying. Look, we've had some tough times this season, but it was a one-game season, and I hope everybody who was Mourinho out, and he has made mistakes this season. He has made mistakes, but I hope everyone who was Mourinho out. I can't believe what I'm watching now. Manchester United walking around the pitch as Europa League champions. Absolutely bloody fantastic. Well done. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the team that started. I'm so proud of the people who came on. I think that, I tell you what, there's so many people who deserve a shout out. But that back four today, no Rojo, no Bailly, Luke Shaw, we couldn't get a left back out. I wouldn't want a different back four. Eric Bailly who? Smalling was a bloody colossus in the air. Daley Blind just ran the back four and read the game brilliantly. Darmian, absolutely flawless. Captain Valencia. Romero had nothing to do. He had nothing to do. You can't say Romero had a bad game, but he had nothing to do. That back four was brilliant. And defensively, Ander Herrera, the new Michael Carrick, unsung hero, fantastic. Fellaini, super game. Probably the best game he's ever had for Manchester United. Bullied the kids. Pogba, very, very good. We just bullied them. We absolutely bullied them. Yeah, Rashford, I think everybody under 20 just had a bad game tonight. But you know what? Mkhitaryan, yellow card, whatever. That goal, we didn't really create anything in the second half. But that goal killed them. It absolutely killed them off. And just fantastic. So much emotion building up to this game. We needed to win it. We had to win it. We didn't want to be in the Europa League again. If we'd have been in the Europa League and Ajax had turned up, we'd have had to taken it on the chin because we blew it in the Premier League. We know that. But we're not. We're not in the Europa League. Arsenal's season just got a hell of a lot worse. Liverpool's season just became a little bit more meaningless because we don't need a qualifier now. 4th place, stick it up your backside, you smug gets. 4th place, get out, go on, sit down and take the L. We've won a trophy and we're going straight into the Champions League and we're going to sign Griezmann and we'll do what we want. We'll do what we want. Absolutely brilliant. And I tell you what, he who laughs first doesn't laugh last. We're laughing last. Bloody brilliant. Dab. I can't even do it. I've had too many Pepsis. Boof.
I'm seeing Mourinho here on the BT channel, and
I love Manchester United.
He's got tears in his eyes, and if anyone questions Mourinho again, you just got to look at this.
Oh, you look at him. He's in front of the crowd like this, and he's like, "Come on." He knows what this is. Not Adidas. Well, Adidas, you owe us 21 million more now because if you wouldn't have had to pay it if we were in the Europa League. But this what it's all about. Brilliant. This is a stepping stone. Look, this season's not been brilliant. It's not been brilliant. But the end game was Champions League football. It's a stepping stone. He'll be aware, like we all are, what the problems are with Manchester United. This was a stepping stone. But I'm so proud. I'm so happy. And I'm so proud of that team tonight. Absolutely bloody brilliant. Let's go. Yes.
We deserve it. We deserve it. After 3 seasons, 2 clowns in charge, atrocious football. This guy, we've not played fantastic football this season, but this guy's got us 3 pieces of silverware. The first Manchester United manager to do it in history.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I think I needed to take a breath there. I'm just looking in. Ross is sending us pictures of a happy face. Ross is got a cigar on. I'll tell you what. You know what? It's funny. I can't remember how old I was when I was in '99. I was in my teens, and I got absolutely smashed. And I lived in Malahide Island at the time, and I went down to the coast, and I sat there at about 2:00 in the morning. I'd work the next day. I think it was only an office junior. And I sat there and had a big cigar as well. So you know what? As I said, whatever you do, cherish this. Ryan Giggs said it after '99. He said, maybe I didn't celebrate it as much because I thought there was going to be more. You never know. You never know in football. So enjoy this moment. Cherish it. We've never won this trophy before. We're back in the Champions League. It's brilliant. It's absolutely bloody brilliant. And I'm just so happy that we can put a smile onto people's face tonight, because it's not been easy.
It's not been easy for fans. It's certainly not been easy for Jose with that squad. Yeah, we've been saying all throughout the season there is so much dead wood in this squad, and to get
you there, Ross?
pieces.
Yeah, mate, I'm here.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, I'll get you on it, mate.
Yeah, get 3 pieces of silverware with this squad. European Cup, absolutely fantastic. Bring on next season.
Yeah, it is. It is brilliant. Absolutely superb. Ross, give us your thoughts. You're live.
Oh, mate, absolutely fantastic. Marcus, great job today, by the way, mate. I was listening all the way, but mate, do you know what? Ajax were they were crap tonight, and do you know why they were crap? Because United made them crap. And if I was to give a man of the match tonight, it'd be to Jose Mourinho, because criticise him all you want all season, he got that tactically spot on and absolutely nullified Ajax, who are a good team, but wow.
Look at Ajax. I mean, they just get back to school tomorrow. You need an early night because they did get schooled. We were talking about that in the last few minutes. I think Paul's with us now. Are you here, Paul, as well?
I most certainly am,
yeah,
gents.
Good. Yay. Paul runs the website. We've got Ross, Marcus and everything. We're partying. But I tell you what, I want everyone's man of the match as well, and the live comments get involved. But we were talking about this, me and Ross, before the game. We don't know with Ajax. They could have turned up, been total football, and beat us 4-0. Or it could be a myth. They play in a crap league. They beat Lyon very well at their place, and then they got beaten very well. I just don't think Ajax were all that.
I got to agree with you there, Mark. I was quite surprised, to be fair. I was expecting a much more challenging game than what we had. I thought they were quite poor. I put a tweet out at half-time saying, look, Ajax are quite poor. If we just actually get the ball down and play football, this game's ours.
Yeah, and the one thing as well is, I was saying as well, Ross, the second half, apart from the goal from Mkhitaryan, we didn't really do a hell of a lot. Mourinho will know as well as we do, there's still a hell of a lot of work. That team tonight can't win the Premier League. I think Ajax were on a level with Swansea. I don't think they were much better than that, to be honest. So there's a hell of a lot of work to be done, but we've done what was in front of us. We've won that trophy, absolutely ecstatic. He'll make changes in the summer. Can't wait to see that. But the defence.
I got to say something. I've had a couple of drinks, so forgive me for jumping in. But I was dissing Fellaini at half time. But the second half, he was tremendous. He won every single aerial battle. He was very instrumental for us in our attacks. Not that we had many, but we got to give credit where credit's due. We slate him a lot. Let's give him a bit of credit just for today, because he was very good in that second half.
I'm not going to go that far. But you know what? I'm joking. He was bloody fantastic tonight. They all were. Rashford wasn't very good, but he's a kid. I think if you were over 20, you were crap tonight. That's basically the story of the game. But Vedic he says Fellaini man of the match. I'm going to get everyone's man of the match in a moment. But I forget what I was saying there about... Yeah, the defence, no matter what anybody says, the defensive side of our team was flawless, Ross. I thought it was 10 out of 10. And, all those people who've knocked Smalling, I think we saw tonight with Smalling exactly what Mourinho did with Rojo and Jones. He can turn somebody into just a top-class defender. He was superb. Absolutely brilliant.
He was superb
He was.
tonight.
Every single player was brilliant today. I think the discipline that was on display
Paul
was
thinks he's
immense.
Ross now.
Jose
I
Mourinho.
normally mix them up.
He's had a drink.
To be honest with you guys, I'm watching the TV, so you're background noise at the moment, so I'm just jumping in here and there.
Yeah, all right. Well, Ross, give us your man of the match then.
Do you know what? I'm going to go right left field. I'm going to give it to Darmian because I thought, against all odds, I've given him stick. Everyone's given him stick this season. He was absolutely flawless tonight, and I think he has gone. He's earned his way into next season's squad. And to be honest, I'm happy to see him and Luke Shaw fight out for left back next season. I don't think we need a left back because it was a big game tonight, and it's the big games where players have got to step up. And he stepped up tonight. He was absolutely flawless, along with Smalling, along with Blind. But massive shout out to Herrera tonight because Blind and Smalling got the cover that they need from Herrera because he was everywhere. But for me, I thought their right winger was lethal, and Traore was on the right wing for a lot of the time. And yeah, he did do Darmian on the odd occasion, but I just thought he was absolutely faultless. And I think that Traore would do any right back because he's left back. He's an absolute talent. But Darmian dealt with him really well tonight, positionally fantastic, and that's who I'm going to give it to. I know it's probably not what all you guys think, but I just think that big games. If you've got to step up, and Darmian completely stepped up for me tonight, and I'm proud of all the boys, and what a performance.
Well, they're about to get the trophy, which we're all going to want to watch together, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Sir Alex, David Gill, I think we finally replaced those men. I think finally we've moved on from that massive shock and mistake of Sir Alex with Moyes clearing out the backroom staff. It's taken a few years. And I think Mourinho, to come out with what he's come out with this season, I know we didn't get top four, Premier League was a write-off, but ultimately, fourth place gets you a qualifier in the Champions League, Europa League gets you straight into the group stage and a trophy, so shove it up your arse, Liverpool fans. And Arsenal, as I said before, this is what the Europa League's like. And I tell you what, I'll be totally honest with you, we've won it, we're the champions of the Europa League. It's a bloody nightmare of a tournament to play in, you're welcome to it, but we've won it and we walk away, which is fantastic. But here they come to get the team. I'll get you man of the match, Marcus and Paul, in a minute. But
no worries.
I think you're spot on, Ross. I think three players tonight that were absolutely fantastic are three players who've by varying sections of the club, get a lot of stick. Darmian, Smalling, Fellaini. There's nobody out there who all season has said, I love all three of them. I like Smalling, a lot of people don't. Some people like Fellaini, I don't. Darmian, I have given a bit of stick as well. Those three players tonight, amongst others, were flawless.
They were. You can't argue with that. They very well disciplined. I think Jose got the tactics absolutely spot on tonight.
Yeah, there's Latan pushing people for a photo with Bailly.
It's Zlatan's first European trophy as well.
I think Zlatan wants the trophy moving out and everyone pick him up.
Is that right, Marcus? Is that his first European trophy?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. You know Van Gaal last year at the FA Cup, he made the injured players travel down separately. Mourinho had them all part of it. I mean, Van Gaal was a weirdo anyway, wasn't he? But who's going to lift the trophy? It's going to be Rooney, surely.
It's got to be Rooney. And do you know what? What a way to bow out. I'm pleased he got on the pitch. I'm pleased he's going to lift the trophy. Valencia was fantastic as a captain for me today. I know we don't speak a word of English, but I really enjoyed having. Yeah, but I enjoyed having him lead the team. But for me, if this is Rooney's last ever moment in the United top, what a moment for him! And this is how Rooney should go out of United, lifting the trophy. I don't want him to bow out, with stick and with everyone against him. Let's let him lift the trophy.
Look at Jose.
I don't know what he's doing there. He's jumping up and down. He's got 3. What does 3 mean? What's he on about with 3? Three trophies.
I think that's
ultimate bants from Jose. Look, he's clapping. I'm just doing what Mourinho's doing. Hey, come on. Here we go. Come on, Rooney. Lift the trophy. Get out and then leave the club like the great that you've been. Here we go.
Lift it. Come on.
Oh, here we go. Europa League champion. Oh, I just can't believe it. It's Dream World. It is.
Get in, lad. Get in.
Come on. Back at the top.
It is. It is absolutely brilliant. I couldn't have believed it till I see it.
What an absolute slog this season's been.
Yeah.
And that moment just really puts the cherry on the top.
Wow.
That made no sense, but I know what I'm talking about.
No, I think I totally agree with you. It has been a slog of a season, but I think we'd all take this, wouldn't we? We'd take that season for this because we get Champions League football. You know, we could have got. I always said at the start of the season, you can't do both. You can't do top four and the Europa League. And my big concern about the Europa League was it comes down to one game. It's a one-shot lottery, and it's like what happened to Liverpool. I remember Liverpool last year. Oh yeah, they didn't win it, did they? They were 1-0 up at half-time, but. Yeah, it comes down to one game, and I think the safe bet was always let's get top four. But actually, if you know the outcome, you're always going to take the trophy and the top four. And yeah, it couldn't have ended. It's been tough, but it couldn't have ended any better.
No, it couldn't have done. And you know what? It's the end of the season for United. It's the end of it's the start of many things for United, Stan, because it's got to 90,000 subscribers today. We've had a ridiculous amount of likes. Do you know what? Today, given the events and everything, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And all the lads did, the whole of Manchester and the whole of the UK proud today because the country is behind them. And what a performance! A lot of people are telling you to dab, Mark. I think you're gonna have to do it, mate.
I've already done them. I'm trying my best.
Do it again.
I'm rubbish at them. I've had too many Pepsis. But I tell you what, on the serious note, obviously people will be saying, I don't want to bring the mood down, but we know what happened in Manchester, and for them to be able to bring that trophy back, it doesn't make any difference. Of course it doesn't, but it's a little bit of positivity, it's a little bit of joy, and it's a little bit of an up yours to people who try to destroy society that we live and we enjoy. And I'm just very proud of them. I think, they've had a very difficult season. Looking at Zlatan, whatever people think about him, he scored a hell of a lot of goals, and we've not had him for the last few weeks. So people have stepped up, and I think, you know what, if you think it's good now, the summer's just going to be, I've done 3 summers on the United stand in teams that have been in transition, had bad managers, and we've made an impact. We've now got a manager who knows what he's doing, and we're in the Champions League, and with the Europa League Champions, there is no better attraction than Manchester United in the Premier League right now. Chelsea might have won the Premier League. They've done sod all in Europe. We will be the number 1 club that people want to come to now. And I totally agree with people like Griezmann who wanted to wait. I know you were saying, Ross, that you disagree with that, but I get that. If you want the best, you've got to be in the Champions League, and we're in there. Got no stupid qualifier to do. And I'm sure Liverpool will win their qualifier, but it's a hindrance. We've got the Super Cup. I want Real Madrid. I want Real Madrid in the Super Club. In the Super Cup, I think it's August the 8th. Come on.
Exactly. We're going to see United against the best teams in the world next season. We're going to see United. We might get drawn in the group stage against Bayern Munich, against Real Madrid. Arsenal have let us down every season in the Champions League. This is Man United. We will not. This is United under Jose Mourinho. We won't let the teams down. And what RT Gaham said in the comments, we did it, Mark. We literally did it. We've done it. This is what we wanted at the start of the season. We wanted 3 trophies, Champions League football, mad summer signings. This is it. This is it.
The week's not as good as it could be.
There was an interview before the game. Was it Brian Robson? When he was being interviewed about what the result would mean and everything like that, and he was saying that obviously they asked him basically, is the Champions League, the Europa League final, the result, the be all and end all, and he said, it's very important. The Champions League is where we belong. It's what our main objective was, and to win that final and to get the Champions League qualification will help us in the transfer market. And he sort of had a glint in his eye. He said it will help us make big signings in the transfer market. And he said it with a glint in his eye. I'm thinking, you're on about Griezmann, aren't you? You know what's going on.
Why is Mourinho going 4? Anyone know in the live comments?
I don't know. It was 3 a minute ago, and then it's 4. I don't know.
It was 3 for the 3 was the trophies that we won this season, I'm sure. But wow, Marcus, I want to hear your man of the match, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you went for Darmian, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to, just because of the amount of hate that he's got this season.
You're not.
I'm going to, yeah. I'm going to give it to Fellaini.
Legend.
Purely, I would go for Darmian, but you've gone for him, but I'm going to go for Fellaini.
I'm going to give it to Chris Smalling.
Plus, Mark's got the wig on as well, so it suits.
I'm going to go completely different again.
Go on, Paul.
Go on, Paul.
Look, one of the things that have bugged me in the later stages of this season is how defensive we've played. Today, I was hoping that we would be, going a bit more gung-ho at Ajax, not Atletico Madrid. I'm thinking of Griezmann now. At Ajax, based on the fact that their defence is, leaks goals. So I expected that. We didn't get that. What we did get was that we defended high up the pitch as opposed to, ridiculously deep like we have done. We didn't see our wingers playing as left backs for that much of the game. So that was good. We defended high up. And I think that where we had a lot of our success was in the midfield. So for me, Pogba, Herrera, Mata, that trio were outstanding today. And I think for me, out of the three of them, I'm going to have to give it to Herrera.
I'll tell you what, I think that's a bloody good shout. Herrera was fantastic today. I mean, if I'm totally blunt, I think... I'm not being blunt because they were all fantastic, but I think if you're picking a man of the match, you've got to go with either Valencia, Blind, Smalling, Darmian, Herrera, Fellaini. I think it's out of them six. I thought Mata was very good. I thought Pogba was very good, but I think it's out of them six. And I'd go for Chris Smalling for the same reason that I just saw a hell of a lot of hate for Smalling this morning on Twitter. I'm not hate, I don't want to use that word obviously on a day like this, but there was a lot of people saying I'd play Phil Jones. And I never understood it because Smalling was playing today because Dolberg has been one of the best strikers in Europe and he's tall. And Smalling didn't just put him in his pocket, he put him in an envelope and posted him back to Holland because he was just anonymous. Smalling was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, but so was Blind, so was Valencia, so was definitely Darmian. Fellaini was very good as well, and Herrera was just brilliant in that position. I just think it makes it very, very interesting, which we'll come on to in a bit for those who are going to stay on, as to what changes we need to make. But I think we make, Ajax, I don't think are that as bad as they were today, but I just think we defended so well as a team. They had a lot of the ball on the edge of our box or in our half, and they never had one-on-one chance once. Not once. They could not get through. Whether it was down the width, passing through, long shots, they couldn't get through. Romero, at times, may as well have had his pyjamas on. He had nothing to do. Anyone disagree?
I'm just going to jump in there quickly.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure being on with you guys, but I got to jump off.
No worries, Paul. Thanks for having you on.
Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of the celebrations, and I'll catch you all soon.
No worries. Cheers, Paul.
Cheers, Paul.
Take it steady, guys.
And lads,
Cheers.
if anyone needs to get off, just jump in, but I will carry on.
All right, mate.
Dano UK agrees with me. Smalling man of the match. Let's take some of the comments because you're all very welcome. There's a lot watching. It's party time here. I think I'm going to finish my beer and have a whiskey. I've got work tomorrow, but up yours. I tell you what, just don't give in. Don't give in. Don't give in to this evening because it's a special night, isn't it, Ross? It's history. History. I think, I'm terrible at celebrating success. I always have been. But, you never know. We've never won this trophy for one. Plus, you never know when we're going to be in a European final again. You just don't know. And we've just bloody won it conclusively. Nobody can say we were lucky. We've won it conclusively. We've just beaten one of the best young sides in Europe, and we've just totally mugged them off.
I'll tell you what, we've had some really frustrating times with Jose Mourinho this season, but that's what we get with Jose Mourinho. We get boring finals where we absolutely dominate the team, and that was tactics. It was phenomenal tonight, and it was an absolute pleasure to watch. And I don't know about you, Mark, or Marcus, but I was so calm after that first goal in that we were going to win this. And you knew we'd come out of the block second half. And again, to win a final like that, I mean, as United fans, we've had some, you said it before the show, Mark, we've had some really tough finals that we've come out on top of. But this was just easy, absolutely easy to watch and an absolute pleasure. And a pleasure, don't want to continue with the United stand loving too much, but it's a pleasure to be a part of it tonight with being a United fan and being a part of the United stand as well. To get over 3,000 likes, I think, on the watch along is banging, and to get over 90,000 subscribers is mental. And I think Marcus and Mark, it was a pleasure because I did what your advice was, which was to turn the audio off of BT Sport and listen to the United stand, and it was a pleasure to watch. Apart from when you went to the toilet, Mark, that was ridiculous. But no, I thought you did a great job, Marcus. But what a pleasure! it's one of them nights you kind of, in your head, you've got to set yourself up to fail because you've got to be prepared for it. But we all didn't want to do that because we should have won this final. And, you know, it was 2-0. I thought we played this final at about 60%. Again, I think a lot of them players, attacking-wise, could have done better. And we expect better from United. Yeah. Because that's... Do you know what? And in that 80th minute, to be honest, when I thought, well, this is one, I just couldn't believe, like, you know, it seems like a long time since we were playing the best, you know, because the Champions League season didn't happen under Van Gaal. We were knocked out in the group stages. The last Champions League season I can remember was under David Moyes, to be honest, when, you know, we put up a good fight against Bayern Munich, but, you know, end of the day, we failed. We will not fail under Jose Mourinho in the Champions League because he is a cup master. And to come away with 3 trophies, and like you said, Mark, I'm already thinking of the Super Cup. I'm already thinking of, you know, Real Madrid or Real Madrid or Juventus, whoever it is. Cannot wait for it. What a game to look forward to.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what next season's going to hold because I predicted this season totally wrong, but it's like we're going to be in the Champions League next year. I've said we'll win the league next year. It's going to be interesting to see how he prioritises it. But I tell you what, you've always got to look at your weaknesses in a moment of strength, and we need a hell of a lot of work to that squad. He'll have learned this season that the squad wasn't big enough and he couldn't trust it enough. But there's a core of players that he will trust next year. And I just saw him hugging Juan Mata there. I remember us talking a couple of weeks ago about this, and I said, Juan Mata's got to play the final. And he may not have been man of the match, but I thought he was superb as well. But I tell you what, I mean, because we were talking about it half time, and I think you, Marcus, said to keep him on, didn't you, Mkhitaryan?
Yes. Yeah, for the 10-15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and me and you, Ross, we said take him off because he's on a yellow card, it's too much of a risk. We didn't do anything in an attacking sense in the second half. But Mkhitaryan gets the goal, which again is why Mourinho is, you know, I'm taking this off and getting an itchy head. But you know what? I don't buy into this managers know better than the fans because we've been doing this for a few years now. Moyes didn't know better than the fans and Van Gaal didn't know better than the fans because we were doing show after show after show saying he needs to play Herrera and he needs to play Mata and he'd bench them, he wouldn't use them. Mourinho comes in, he plays the pair and you sat there justified going, this is why we said under Van Gaal he needed to play Herrera and Mata because they're good enough. Because the fans knew more than Van Gaal. I think in Mourinho's case, he has made a few mistakes, but he'll always come out with the masterstrokes that make you sit back and go, that's why he's the best manager in the world. Because he does things that even us as fans who know the club inside out, we wouldn't have done. I would have took Mkhitaryan off at half time. Ross would have done. Marcus wouldn't, but most of us would. He scores the goal. Simple, isn't it?
You know what? Just to say on that, Mark. I mean, I remember the team that he put out away to Swansea during the league, and we all thought, Jesus Christ, how are we going to win with this? And lo and behold, he did it with an absolutely dreadful team. We thought, a lot of the players were there were all second-rate players and didn't deserve to be in the first 11. And then he's gone. He got a result there, and then tonight, we've not played fantastically, the United way, as people would say. But it's the results
comprehensive,
that matter.
Though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the results that matter, and fair play to him. 3 trophies in one season, 3 bits of silverware in one season. The first manager, Manchester United manager, to do it. We were all touting him to win
debut
2.
season as well.
Yeah, we were all touting him to win 2 and said that would have been fantastic. But for 3, I mean, Jesus, that took some doing. And let's not forget the squad that he's got here as well.
Yeah. Deadwood squad.
Yeah, a Deadwood squad. It's lacking quality. We know that. It's lacking a clinical finisher. We all think that a world-class centre-back is needed. But, I mean, again, put this defence up against a better side. Let's see how we go. We may save ourselves 50, 60 million on a world-class centre-back.
I'll tell you what as well, I deserve a massive slap on the back. And I'm not normally arrogant like this, but I have said time after time, Chris Smalling's brilliant on corners, and he got the assist on that. And we're rubbish at corners, but Smalling, on an attacking sense, he's one of our best players. He got up there on Dolberg, heads it down, Mkhitaryan flicks it in, and we are in. But one thing I would say on a positive, because what the haters might say, or the rivals might say, is, oh, United just sat back and parked the bus. And I think we did at times. But I think Rashford had such an ineffective game. He was getting fouls given against him all the time, which wasn't his fault. The ref was very, very against him. He didn't hold the ball up as well as he could have done. He could have had a better game. I'm not digging Rashford out because, he's been fantastic and he is going to be a fantastic talent. But Ross, what I'm trying to say is this. Yes, Mourinho is the best in the world at setting a team up defensively. I remember him going to Inter and doing Barcelona, one of the best Barcelona sides there's been, over 2 legs, just shut them out, even in the new camp. He's done it time and time again. He knows how to shut out any team. But when I look at that United side today, I think we were set up perfectly. I think if Rashford had just had a decent game, we could have won it 4 or 5-0 because we were set up perfectly. We just didn't really... We never really got it. There was too many long balls that were mislaid. And in an attacking way, we didn't play that well. Defensively, we did, but I think we were set up perfectly.
Absolutely spot on from Jose Mourinho, and I think people forget that Fergie did this against Barcelona. Every time he come against a technically good team on the floor, he did the same thing. And there's parking the bus and there's completely dominating a game, and that's what we did today because they had. The only opportunity in my eyes that they had was when Darmian got fouled in the box because he did a great bit of defending to get back. And look, we've parked the bus sometimes this season incorrectly because it's been wrong given the way the game's gone. Today, even at 1-0, you knew that we were totally in control. And yes, Rashford, he wasn't as effective. I think that's 50-50 on the balls not being good enough to him and him not being good enough. And that's just the high standards we expect of Rashford. And you know what, tonight's not a reflection of what Rashford is because he's phenomenal for us. But for me, that was a stereotypical Jose Mourinho performance that I've watched Chelsea beat Manchester United time after time playing like that. And we're on the nice end of it tonight. I've watched United not play that well, to be honest. Great defensively, 2 chances, gone in, and we completely dominated Ajax. And end of the day, I don't really care. I wouldn't care if we won that 1-0, fighting for our lives. I'm just seeing shots of Fellaini there with the trophy. We've lifted the Europa League. This is the final trophy in United's cabinet that we didn't have. Fantastic, Jose. We got a poor man's treble. Who cares? Liverpool claimed the poor man's treble about 10 years ago. We've got it now, and phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
I'll tell you what, I've never heard Michael Owen say anything sensible, and Rio Ferdinand's just backed it up as well. But they were talking about Fellaini there, and they said, look, honestly, he's not a Manchester United player. He isn't, and I understand exactly where he's coming from. But tonight, he's been absolutely brilliant, and I think that sums it up brilliantly. I still don't believe he is what we need in the midfield, but tonight he was exactly what we needed. And I said it's such a weird situation because the horror that happened on Tuesday night was horrific, and I think if that hadn't happened, I've got to be honest, and I think a lot of us would feel the same. Maybe we'd have a bit of trepidation and a bit of moaning about the team tonight and gone, why is Fellaini playing against a team that's like moves the ball really quickly? But I think there is no positive from that horror that happened. But I think because it happened and that cocktail of emotion of nervous excitement but massive sadness, it was like whatever the team tonight, it doesn't matter as long as they go out and do their job and give their all. And I think I've got no bad feeling towards any United player anymore because it doesn't matter. It is just a game. But every single one of them turned up tonight, and I've just got nothing but praise, proud, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And to be honest, I don't know how good Ajax are. I think it's a myth. I don't think they were that good. But defensively, that was a flawless performance. You can only beat what's in front of you. What I want to talk about now is, and we're going to talk about sort of transfers and stuff, and if Marcus or Ross need to get off, just let me know. But we've got to talk about this. It's been going on all season. And you know what? I do tweet off the United stand. I'm not the only one, but I do. And I have said things like, we'll finish above Liverpool this season, because I did believe it at Christmas. I was like, come back in May and see where we are then. And I've had for the last week.
You put money on it, mate.
I did.
You put money on it.
And I paid the money. I gave it to charity. But all week, since Sunday, since their cup final against Middlesbrough when they got 4th place, all I've had is, on my timeline, retweets of stuff I did back in December and January, because we should have finished above them. We missed so many chances, this la-di-da, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. My point is, it doesn't matter, because they've been celebrating 4th place like they've won the bloody European Cup. We've won the Europa Cup. We're not going to have to qualify. Same goes for City. I mean, I think Pep Guardiola's had a free ride as well. They finished 3rd, and it's like, that's acceptable. And win no trophies. I mean, I just think football in general is very warped these days. Apparently Spurs have had a fantastic season. They finished 2nd. It's the first place loser. I mean, yes, we should have done better in the league, but I just laugh at Spurs, at City, and at Liverpool for thinking that they can mock us for finishing 6th when we've just won the Europa League, we won the League Cup, and to be honest, we were robbed in the FA Cup, and I'm glad we were, because we didn't have the squad to play the FA Cup anymore. But I don't know, I just laugh in the face of their 4th, 3rd and 2nd, because I'm just thinking, what we've actually achieved this season, the Europa League, is a bloody slog. Jump in, boys.
Go on, Marcus.
I was going to say, mate, do you want to go first?
But it is a slog, but do you know what? Watching tonight, it just filled me with an immense amount of pride for all the players, and you know
that's what I mean. Sorry, just to clarify, that's what I mean. I mean, it's like, it's a hell of an effort to do what we've done. I mean, how many games have we played? There's a group stage like the Champions League. There's an extra round in the knockout stage than there is in the Champions League. There's, it's been a real, alongside the Premier League, and Thursday to Sunday, people say, oh, it's just the same as Champions League. It's not. In the Champions League, you might play Tuesday and you might not play till Sunday. In the Europa League, it's rigid. Thursday night, and most of the time, Sunday lunchtime. 2.5 days.
And do you know what? I think there was only one player that played every game in the Europa League. I think that was Paul Pogba. So massive hats up to him, because he didn't join United for the money. Well, he might have done originally, but he hasn't maybe not performed as well as we wanted him to. But he has fought for every minute he's been on the pitch, and sometimes it hasn't been good enough. Right, we all will accept that. But tonight's like tonight when, you know, the world is watching. Deflection, who cares? He breaks away, he gets the goal, you know, and it was just fitting for tonight, and fitting of Paul Pogba, and. Look, we've got Champions League for the whole team, but I wanted it for Paul Pogba because he was the one that took the punt and joined us when we were, you know, a Europa League outfit. And that is a massive call to come from a team that's in the Champions League final, let's not forget, to come back to United and fight in this competition, because Pogba could have been at Real Madrid right about now. He had an absolute selection of where he wanted to go. He's come back home. He's won the Europa League with United. And onwards and upwards, and let's support him. Let's support all the players. Let's get the transfers in, and let's crack on from this, because, well, do you know what? When Jose signed, we all got we all ran away with ourselves a little bit and thought this is it. But thinking back to it, Jose signed for us in one season. He's turned us around from FA Cup finishing 6th and to be honest poor season to winning 2 trophies. I'm not going to count the Community Shield because you get trolled for counting it as a trophy, but wow, I just can't believe it. And it's everything that I want for Manchester United. It's another European final. It's another trophy. And you know what? People like Griezmann now, watch them on Twitter. They're going to be fighting to sign for us.
Breaking news here. I think Draughty's going to join us anyway, but I must read you this tweet. This will make you laugh. This will really make you laugh. I said to Marcus when we were live on the game, at 90 minutes, I'm going to put this tweet out. I'm going to take a gamble. Because you never know. Football's got a horrible way of biting you in the arse. So on 90 minutes, with 4 minutes to go, I tweeted, Antoine Griezmann, welcome to Manchester. He's doing quite well at the moment, but the first reply was from a Liverpool fan, Sam, at the Anfield Mill. He says, maybe with Griezmann in the side, you can finish 5th next year. I mean, let's all have a big old... I just love Liverpool fans. I absolutely love it. They still think 4th place is better than winning the Europa League. You absolute mugs. Sit down and take the L. Draughty, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, go on. Floor's yours, lad. And whatever you want to talk. We are going to talk, just for everybody who's joining this party tonight. We'll be here for a long time. If any of the lads want to get off, they can go. But we are going to talk about outs and ins and what it means. It's massive, the Champions League. But go on.
Oh man, I'm so happy, literally so happy. But just on that point of that Liverpool fan, now Now, there were a lot of people who wanted Jurgen Klopp as Manchester United manager. Alex.
Who's that, Alex?
Alex. Now, can anyone remind me what happened to Liverpool last season in the final of the Europa League and the Carling Cup?
I think like
us,
they were 1-0 up at half time, but I can't remember what happened after that. But they weren't in the Champions League, so I'm imagining they might have bottled it.
Yeah, I think they might have lost against Sevilla. I can't quite remember, but I remember them losing 2 finals. So, everyone's saying they wanted Klopp, and yet Mourinho's come in, done exactly the same, got exactly the same finals, and he's won both of them. That should shut him up. In terms of Guardiola, oh, wow, 3rd in the league, and yet, again, we've won 3 trophies. I mean, it's very easy to go, if we'd lost this game, we'd probably all be a bit deflated. But we haven't. We've won it. And that was what Jose was playing for. He's the best manager in the world. I can't say any more. It's just, to be honest with you, the best thing was just seeing how happy he was. He's been miserable all season, and just seeing him bounce up and down with his son and just like laughing and joking, and you can see how much it means to him. To have a fired up Jose Mourinho happy at Manchester United in the Champions League, let's be honest, we're going to blitz this summer. So
I tell you what, to butt in, I think that's the difference. That's the mentality switch from Van Gaal, because Van Gaal was over the moon with FA Cup and 6th. He thought that was good enough. Jose Mourinho wasn't happy all season. He wasn't happy with what he had, what he was dealing with. He's now happy because the season's complete, and I don't think he ever would have been happy unless we won the Europa League. But I don't think we've seen a lot of happy Jose Mourinho tonight, but he still won't be happy because Jose Mourinho is about winning the best titles in the world, which is why we want him and is why we've got him. And I think he will not feel like his job is done, like Sir Alex to a point, when he's won a league and the Champions League. That's the mentality we want at United. We don't want people satisfied with FA Cups and 6. We want the best for United, which is that's why I like Jose Mourinho. That's why I like the fact that he didn't celebrate Pogba's goal, because it's never finished, never over until the final whistle goes. What a legend!
I tell you what, Ross. I don't know what I must have pulled you up on this. I haven't. You've said it twice. I don't know what you're on about. And Marcus was the same in the second half. I never felt we were in danger. I was tentative putting that Griezmann tweet out to at 2-0 up with 3 minutes to go. I just was never. I wasn't.
Mate.
All season I've been worried about this.
You're too cautious, Mark.
I'm not too cautious. I'm just old enough to remember things going wrong in the past. And but I think that makes it all the better, because I never believed it till it was done. I just had a horrible feeling that it was going to go wrong tonight, a silly red card or anything like that. I'm so pleased, and I tell you what, as we move to the next thing, I've done 3 summers for Manchester United now, and on the United stand, and last summer was brilliant. Summer before was pretty good. This summer I can't even predict it. I've got no idea what's going to happen. Suffice to say, if Griezmann was 6 out of 10, he's 10 out of 10 now.
I think he's a definite now. He's an absolute certainty. It wouldn't surprise me as well if we managed to get hold of Aubameyang as well. Like you said, in the sky's the limit. No matter how much, this summer is going to be so unpredictable. It's unreal. Whoever, we're probably going to be linked with the absolute best of the best, no matter how much they're going to cost. And you can't really rule anyone out until you see them having their picture taken in the United shirt.
The thing is, what are really great people tonight, and I'm going to rub a bit of salt into the wound of Arsenal. That's what the Europa League's like, a bloody nightmare to win it. But the world was watching Manchester United tonight, and we won it. And a lot of players will be thinking, you know what, I can see a project there. They're not the complete article yet, but bloody hell, they're doing quite well with what they've got. I don't think, Drawty, anything is off limits with Manchester United now. I think it's going to be an amazing summer.
Oh, I was just about to make a very dodgy reference when you said nothing's off limits then. Yeah, to be honest, no. So, there's a lot of people watching right now, so I'm not going to lower the tone. But let's be fair, guys. I mean, Gareth Bale, he's on the cards. Even Neymar now. I know people will be like, no way. I'm sorry, everyone is on limits right now. You've got the best manager in the world. We're back in the Champions League, no qualifying campaign. We've got all the funds we want. Financial fair play won't come into it because of our turnover. It doesn't actually matter that we operate in debt because apparently it actually works out better for us that we do. I don't know how that works out, but someone actually explained it to me, and that's fine. If you can think of them, we can probably sign them. To be fair, that's probably where we are right now. And some people think that's a wild kind of no. We're Manchester United. We have the biggest fan base, second to maybe Real Madrid in terms of the stature of the club, but Jose will make us number one again. I don't know. Who do you guys think we can sign this summer? I mean, Griezmann, he's got to be a definite. I mean, it's literally like, who can you think? It's a candy shot.
What a fantastic point, and one that I keep forgetting about is the fact that all these Liverpool twats that keep coming on and saying that you've won Europa League, you haven't come in top four. Well, we ain't got to qualify. You lot have got to qualify. Have fun with that, or we're playing Super Cups and going for more trophies. And I'm with you, mate. Sky's the limit. For me, Griezmann's definitely coming in. I think we need a forward. I think, now we've got a picking. From before we would, if we didn't get Champions League, would be scraping the barrel. I think it is who wants to join us, who wants to join this revolution. And listening to Jose's points there, he's bang on. He said that it was an absolute professional performance from his players, and that's what he wants. And the professionals from today, the Juan Matas, the Darmians even, and maybe even the Daily Blinds will definitely have earned their place in the squad for next season. I don't know about starting 11, but they've earned their place today in my eyes.
I got to say, guys, each of you, 3 players you'd sign this summer. Anyone?
Marcus?
Anyone. I would go for Griezmann, because I think he's needed and he's the obvious choice. As a number 9, I would go Aubameyang, or no, actually, you know what? I'd go Lewandowski. And for a midfielder, I would probably go Rakitic.
Interesting. Ross?
I think. Do you know what? I'd go for Griezmann, Toni Kroos. I think he's needed, and I think we need a defender. And I don't know. I don't know a defender. I'd go for someone top, but I like the Eric Bailly signing. I like the unknown quantity that performs. Eric Bailly wasn't the best centre back in world football, but yeah, I wouldn't pick another centre back from Manchester United right back now. So I'd look at a player like Lindelof, to be honest.
Yeah.
If he fits the stature, if the transfer fee's right, I'd look at him, because you need the balance. I know I haven't picked out a centre forward there, but you've asked me for 3. If you asked me for 4, I'd pick a centre forward. But given the moment which we're in, I think a centre midfielder and a centre back and a number 10 is more important than a forward, because Rashford and Martial could lead the line for another season.
Mark?
Aubameyang up front. Marquinhos or Varane as a centre-back. Griezmann, obviously. And we do need a centre defensive midfielder. So...
I said 3.
Yeah, I know. But we do need a centre defensive midfielder. I mean, Herrera can do the job. Herrera was fantastic tonight. But I've always said this, and I don't want to be negative. Well, I'm not being negative, I'm being honest. And Draughty's definitely said it. I mean, we haven't called him... No, I'm not going to go down that road. But I have always said that if this is a Premier League side, and we must keep this in mind, I always think the perfect point to build on, to improve, is success. And I think the biggest mistake United made in my lifetime was after 99, as treble winners, we didn't really build on the success. And Roy Keane echoed that. We didn't go and buy 2 or 3 world-class players to build on that domination. And Sir Alex said it in his book as well. It was a mistake. We thought we could do it again. And I think United have done very well this year, but we were sixth, a long way off the title, and it wasn't the Champions League, and that's what we should be going for, title and Champions League. And the question mark I have, as much as I love Herrera, and he was brilliant tonight, does he get in a United 11 that's winning the title and winning the Champions League? Because I'll be blunt, Fellaini doesn't, Lingard doesn't. I'm not sure Darmian does. I'm certainly not, and I love Smalling. I don't think he does. I don't think Daily Blind does. It's questionable whether Rashford does. I think there is from where we are now. I'm so proud. I'm so pleased. And as Mourinho just said there, this has been the toughest season as a manager. And you don't need to scrape the surface to understand what he's saying there. The team's not good enough. He's had a lot of challenges. He's been let down by people missing opportunities. He has produced a bloody miracle to get us in the Champions League and win that trophy that we've never won. But I still think we are probably 7 first-team players away, especially as we're going to lose De Gea, from winning the title, from being a title-winning, Champions League challenging side. So you can pick 3, but I'm going to be honest. I think as much as we love people like Darmian, Fellaini, Herrera, Smalling, Lingard, and everybody tonight, I think they become squad players if we make the right signings.
But for me though, sorry, Jordy.
Maybe not Herrera.
Herrera will make it into a starting 11 regardless, because just based on who our manager is, because Jose loves grafters and he loves a player that he can manipulate, like Herrera today. I mean, Herrera today basically was another centre back / right back / left back. He will love that in Ander Herrera, and Herrera for me in the huge games is the unsung hero. We said it against Chelsea, and we're saying it again tonight. And I think we could go out and buy the 3 best centre midfielders in the world, and they could all be fantastic. But will they do the dirty work that Herrera done today? No. He shows passion. He shows a bit of United. I think in every great United team, we've always had the unsung hero. We had Park when we won it, the Champions League in 2007, and I think Herrera is that for us. And I think regardless of who we buy, Herrera will always be in and around that first team because of what Jose can manipulate him to do, which is any job on that pitch.
I know, I'd agree with that, but just to come back before someone else jumps in, I said this at the start of the season. Look, a lot of people like Daley Blind in the summer. He's not played much this year, and I said no, probably isn't a first team player. And everyone was like, no, what are you on about? And I said, no, this is what people don't understand. This is a successful Manchester United side. Just because you're not in the first 11 doesn't mean you don't play 40 games a season. I've seen it with Phil Neville. I've seen it with Nicky Butt. They probably weren't first 11 side, but they still play 30 or 40 games a season because it allows everybody to sort of have a... I mean, the problem Herrera's had this year is he's run out, apart from the last few weeks where he's been rested, he runs out of petrol because he's having to play 60 games. So what I would say is if we did sign Kroos and Griezmann, you've got a midfield 3, which is probably your first midfield 3 of Kroos, Pogba and Griezmann. They won't play every week, and Herrera will still be a massive part of the squad. But that's where United need to go to next. And as I say, your best point of building is from success, and that's what Mourinho will be looking at. He'll be going, yeah, Herrera, you're great. Darmian, Fellaini, you were fantastic, but I'm still buying 3 better versions of you because that's how I'm going to turn us into the Premier League. And that's how I'm going to win the Premier League, and that's how I'm going to win the Champions League, because you're still part of my journey because I can trust you. You're still going to play 30 or 40 games a season, but I'm going to go and buy 3 better versions of you because this is how we're going to go to the next level. I mean, that's what the top sides do.
I'll tell you what, though. There was one player that I was extremely impressed with, and that was the left back of Ajax, Delete. 17. Absolute mountain. Pushed Rashford off the ball. I mean, he's going to go somewhere this summer. He has to. But on the 3 players that I was going to go for, Griezmann number 1. Mark, obviously, you're talking about the midfield. I'd actually go for Brozovic into Milan. I quite like him. And for centre-back, I think Bay needs an upgrade. So not Bay needs an upgrade. He needs someone next to him. So Marquinhos of PSG. I do like Rojo a lot, but he's going to be injured the start of next season anyway. So Smalling was brilliant tonight. He didn't really put a foot wrong, but I just think
he'd go for a lot of money tonight, based on that performance.
Well, yeah,
50 million.
50 million. Well, we know what Jose's like in the transfer market of selling players when he was at Chelsea, so it wouldn't surprise me.
But I know we've spoken about that, but I just do not get what was happening this morning. A lot of people Alex again putting up his little infographics of how many games we've won with Smalling and how many games we've not, and let's play Phil Jones. Ross, you can jump in. I just don't get what people were on about that Phil Jones should have played ahead of Chris Smalling today. We needed somebody tall, who's good in the air, and he set the goal up, and he put Dolberg in his pocket and sent him back to Holland first class. It was just, they had to sub him in the end, and this is one of the best up and coming strikers in Europe, and he played like a 40-year-old Nicky Butt. No, I've definitely done too many Pepsis. Nicky Butt never played up front. Dean Windass, a 40-year-old Dean Windass could have done a better job than Dolberg tonight.
I think the reason we hear about Smalling so much in the last sort of week or so, leaving United, is what you and Jordy just said, which is the transfer fee, because we'd get a fee out of Chris Smalling. We wouldn't get one out of Phil Jones. You're not going to get a transfer fee from a guy that has spent pretty much 70% of his time sitting on the bench injured. So, and for that, Phil Jones is a bit of a dead entity.
Yeah, I'd get rid of him for that reason.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I agree. I would, but you won't get any fee for him. And I think Jose, the absolute, this is a guy that got 50 million quid for David Luiz, which is an absolute joke at the time. So that's what, and I think Smalling is a better player than Phil Jones all round. I'd keep Smalling based on just tonight's performance. I think the big games is where you make a name for yourself, and he has done. But like Draughty said, we need someone. We've got Bailly, and we need someone to play alongside him, and that signing needs to happen. And for me, when Rojo comes back, he is a better centre back than Chris Smalling. I'm a massive Rojo fan, but I think you need 4 class centre backs to do Champions League and Premier League. So why not? Why not Smalling, Bailly, Rojo, and an absolute man mounting? Someone like Marquinhos, like Draughty said. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, Marcus, but I think we need 4 centre backs, mate.
Marcus hates Smalling.
I don't hate him. I just don't rate him as highly as you.
Do you rate him more than Jones?
I would probably say because Jones is always injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
I just don't think that Smalling is the long-term answer.
No, he's 3rd or 4th choice. I think we should keep him for that.
Well, I mean, if you keep him as a bench player, then yeah. I mean, if there's no one out there you can improve upon him, then yeah, fine. But I mean, he wouldn't be a first 11 for me. He just doesn't seem to have that composure about him. Sometimes he panics. I mean, he gets caught under the ball.
Yeah, you won't win a title with him. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, then yeah, I'd probably keep him as a backup. But I wouldn't start him. I think there's quite a few players in the first 11 that you could say that are not title-winning potential players. So yeah, I'd probably make a change, bring someone in who's better than him to replace. Fellaini is the obvious one as well. Rooney's going to go, so the Griezmann replacement for him. Zlatan. There's still no word on whether he's going to stay, whether he's going to go. So we need a world-class striker anyway. I think someone who's much more clinical. And the big question for me after tonight is David De Gea now. I mean, the situation, we're in the Champions League now without a qualifier. Does he still want to go?
Draughty?
He's
gone for me, by the way.
Yeah.
Who? De Gea?
Yeah.
De Gea, yeah.
Well, same with Rooney. I just think what a way for Rooney to bow out. And I know Rooney's got a lot of stick over the last couple of seasons, but he has been a fantastic servant for the club. He is England's all-time goal scorer. Same for Manchester United. And for him to go out on such a note, on Jose's first European trophy with an English club, by the way. He's never actually won a European Cup with a English club. It's a massive way for him to go out. And I don't know if De Gea... I think he'll be a lot easier replaced than people think. Because at the end of the day, if you've got a solid back four, goalkeeper, yes, De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. But someone like Donnarumma, Ederson from Benfica... they can come in, and if we build on the defence, it's not such a big loss. I don't think we will be as reliant on De Gea in the future now that we're in transition and we're moving forward. Very quickly, I'm just going to go off topic very, very quickly. 5,000 of you watching right now, which is massive for us, guys. If any of you are new to the channel, please stick a subscribe on it. I mean, we are, Mark, I don't want to speak for you, but, we are live content. All the guys on the channel, Marcus, Ross, Kev, Alex, anyone I've missed, Xander, Evil Duck, we love doing this for you guys. So if you could subscribe, tonight's been a massive one. It's going to only get bigger in the summer, so that's just my little bit there. Sorry. But for me, De Gea, he is replaceable. Mark, what do you reckon?
I think we need to get back to winning the trophy a little bit because we've probably just delved off and people are saying a
Yeah,
bit more
yeah,
excited.
sorry,
but we've sort of been excited and sort of moved into transfers, which is very exciting. But you know what? I am just. I think I've sort of gone into shock mode now because I was worried. Because since Sunday, I did feel a bit down about the fact that I think we gifted it to Liverpool. I thought they were a very poor Liverpool side, and they've been smugging it around with their fourth place. And you know, football is an evil beast at times, and it can really bite you. But it was flawless. It was a flawless performance. I don't, you know, looking back on it, I agree with Ross and Marcus that we were never really in danger because the defensive side of our game was brilliant and we took our chances. The season really was a one-game season. I think if you lose tonight, it's a failure. If you win it, you look back on it and go, massive step forward. Won a trophy we've never won before. Into the Champions League, straight into the group stage. Actually, you know, I think the Europa League is a fantastic tournament. And I think they've turned it into something great by giving that Champions League spot straight into the group stage because it's a lot hard, you know, in relation to how much it impacts on the team. As I was saying there before, for those who've joined us later, it's Thursday night, Sunday lunchtime. It's 2.5 days. About how many weeks a season? How many rounds? How many games have we played? I don't know. Must be about 4. Must be maybe 14 weekends. And everyone says, "Oh, it's like the Champions League." It's not. You could play Tuesday night on the Champions League and then not play again until Sunday at 4 o'clock. There's a massive difference. And I tell you what, good luck Arsenal. You won't win the Europa League. It's a bloody slog for a Premier League club, and United have done fantastic to do it. So I'm so proud of them. We know the backstory to what's gone on this week. It would have been very hard to play a football game. I mean, you, Drawty, we were messaging each other today, and you said you were very worried about the referee because passions were going to run high. You know, you think about how you feel as a fan, as a player, they're going to feel the same, but they've got to go into a very professional game of football and keep their heads. And I think everybody was superb in that sense. You know, nobody was over passionate, nobody was losing their head. It was very, very calculated, professional, experienced performance from a bunch of players who just did us proud.
There is nothing negative I can say about that performance from anyone. You know, after what happened on Monday night, and it was absolutely atrocious. And for me personally, I found it quite upsetting. And I don't normally get upset about world events because it's kind of the world we live in. But for those players tonight, it could have gone one of two ways. As we saw with Dortmund last month when their team bus was attacked, they didn't want to play the match. Their heads weren't in it. Different situation for Manchester United because they weren't attacked directly, but obviously it's their city. They went out there tonight and played their absolute socks off. It was a massively professional performance. They were all controlled. Everyone didn't fly in. They didn't lose their heads. They did everyone in Manchester proud tonight. They did the club proud. They did their country proud, to be fair. And most importantly, they did themselves proud. To be honest with you, right now, I don't think there's ever a moment where you could be more proud of a team right now. After this season and the way they've, you know, people have been batting them down saying we've drawn too many games. You know, they don't have the substance to maintain it. That tonight was about as professional as you can get with the players that were on offer. Considering Zlatan's injured, considering Rojo's injured, considering Bay was, you know, crocked. The amount of players on that pitch tonight in crutches had us in tears of laughter at the end of that whistle. But for those players to come through that, with all the injuries, with all the adversity, Manchester United are flying the flag high tonight, and I don't think any of us could say anything negative about that.
Yeah. Anyone want to add anything to that? My words are starting to go now. Yeah, I just think. I mean, I don't even want to talk. We'll talk about it on the season review on Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow with the Skype show at 8:30 for you lot to have your say. Transfer show in the morning at 7 a.m. But I don't even want to talk about people leaving the club because it's not the time. I'm just so happy with everybody. I mean, to be honest, De Gea looked really happy. Rooney looked really happy. I'd be amazed if they're back here in August. But, you know, I'm sure I have total faith in Mourinho to deal with it. Just very quickly on the centre-backs there. He can't keep Blind, Smalling, Bailly, Rojo, Jones, Twansibi, and buy a centre back. He's got to get rid of at least 2 of them. So a massively interesting summer. Of course, we'll be with you every step of the way, as we always are. But what I just it's been very difficult for lots and lots of reasons. But just pinning it down to football, it's been very, very difficult to know. And you said it, Ross. That this game really was the season in 90 minutes.
It was, and do you know what? We were nervous going into it, but like you say, mate, not all 11 players, because it wasn't the 11. It was the De Gea's, it was the Rojos, the Ibrahimoviches that got us here, and they've all done us proud this season. I was really happy to see Ibra up there lifting the trophy, and that's what he's worked towards over the last couple of months, and fantastic for him. Yeah, Rooney. It was. I was so pleased that he got to lift the trophy. I was so pleased that he got to come on. He took the captain's armband off Valencia. What a way for him to bow out tonight. I know you don't want to talk about players leaving, but if there's one player I want to leave, it's Wayne Rooney, because what a way to leave. I think Drawty said it, and so did Marcus. The career he's had, this is how Wayne Rooney should leave Manchester United, on the absolute top of the world. Look. It's Europa League, granted, but we've won a European Cup final, and that's how I want players to leave this club, especially Wayne Rooney, because I do not want to see his career fizzle out at United. And all-round squad effort, and all-round effort from everyone, to be honest. And you know what? Effort from you, Mark, and you, Marcus, as well, for staying live for like 3 hours. It's ridiculous, and you've been fantastic. I've been watching you. I've been watching all the likes coming. I know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous again, but it's fantastic watching all the likes come in. And I've spent the last 10 minutes watching the live comments as well, which everyone's
I'm
like.
reading them now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, someone's just saying 1 million subs soon, which I think is a bit OTT, but you never know. But wow, what a night for United! And great to be a part of this as well.
I just want to echo what I've been saying a few times at the end of the game, at the start of this stream and everything like that. Look, some of you will be young, some of you will be a bit older in the tooth like me. But what I can say with total and utter experiences, as I was saying at the end of the watch along, I remember in '99, I saw Ross's picture with a cigar. I remember in '99, I was in my teens. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say whether it was late or mid or it wasn't early. But I was in my teens, I'd been at a house party, and with a minute to go, we were losing 1-0 to Bayern Munich, and I was on the floor, and I was like, we've won the FA Cup and we won the league, and I was like, but this, all that matters is the Europa League, the European Cup, because we haven't won it for years, and we won it. And I remember at about 3 o'clock in the morning, with work the next day, I was sat on Malahide Beach in Ireland with a big cigar and a bottle of whiskey, and life was brilliant. And it didn't happen again until 2008, and it hasn't happened for a long time since then. So whatever happens, make sure you cherish this moment. If it's your first one that you really remember, or even if it's your however many it is, enjoy this moment, because they don't necessarily come around that often. And always enjoy success. And we definitely deserve to enjoy the success tonight, because that performance, I said it to Ross, didn't I? I said, think about 99, think about 08. We did it the hard way. Penalties, we were a John Terry slip away from losing that. We were 2 minutes away from losing 99. Tonight, we could sit back in the last 10 minutes in relative comfort and think, we're going to win this tournament. And that is a massive tip to the players and Mourinho, because it was just absolutely brilliant. But do 100% enjoy this moment. And if you don't go to school or work tomorrow, you can go on Friday.
Don't worry about it.
Have a long weekend. But you know what I mean? Just enjoy the moment. I want to say that. And I also want to give a big shout out to all you lot, because we are hopefully on the road to 100,000 now. It's going to be a massive summer. Stick with us. We've got lots of things planned. And I just love doing it. I think we've got a great community. But amongst anything, we've had a pretty crap 3 years with Van Gaal and Moyes. And, FA Cups are quite nice. But this is a world statement. Everyone was watching tonight. And people like Mbappe and people like Deschamps, who's basically snubbed Martial, saying, oh, don't go to United because of the way they play football. I think it's a big up yours to them lot now, because, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way we played football tonight. I think Rashford had a bad game. I think if you had a decent striker who can hold the ball up tonight, or a good Rashford, we might have won 3 or 4-0, because they just couldn't penetrate us. So I think anything we want to do this summer, we'll do it.
radio silence. But yeah, definitely. I totally agree, mate. I absolutely agree. There's a great tweet from Man City's Twitter account as well, saying a City United after we win, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
that's important, isn't it? All that stuff.
Obviously. Yeah, sort of thing I want to see, and it's great to come from City's Twitter account as well. But this is it for me. What a summer we're going to have. I mean, this was the springboard for the transfers in the summer that we're going to have, because last summer was probably one of the most exciting summers I've ever had as a United fan. With Jose being confirmed, the early Mkhitaryan Bay signing, and then Pogba to tip it all off.
And you were looking forward to the Europa League.
But it was the signings, and
that's what I mean. We're going to get the signings and the Champions League. Exactly,
the Champions League, and not just that. I don't think I'm alone in saying that. I think the Super Cup against, which looks like I think is going to be Real Madrid, is a mouth-watering occasion,
right? And that is going to.
Exactly, and that's Jose will not want to lose that. He will be gearing up all summer for that tie. He will, if it is Real Madrid, he will not lose against Real Madrid. So, and because it's his former club, Ronaldo back at us playing Ronaldo again. He won't be at Old Trafford, but all these things that I've put to the back of my mind, because like you, Mark, I kind of went on defence mode for the past week. What if we don't lose? And it was always in the back of your mind. And you said it on the pre-match on the team news that all this nervousness will make a better victory for us, because the relief will be so much more, because, let's not face it, we've been crapping ourselves for a week. As soon as we found out we couldn't get top 4, but we've done it. And we've done it the hard way, but we've done it the proper way, because while Liverpool and all the other clubs, City as well, are doing Champions League qualifiers, we're playing the Super Cup, fighting for another trophy.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I take it as a badge of honour tonight that we're nearly at 100 dislikes, because I know exactly where they're coming from, and that actually feels good. It's coming from Liverpool, Arsenal, maybe, I don't think many City fans, to be fair, but definitely from Liverpool and Arsenal fans, because Liverpool's little 4th place trophy's just gone rusty after 3 days. Floods in Liverpool tonight, and Arsenal fans would have just been begging that we were going to be in the Europa League with them, but we're not. The Champions League was very important to our season, but I think at the start of it, if you'd offered me 2nd, 3rd or 4th or the Europa League, I'd have took the Europa League. Does anyone disagree?
No, totally agree.
It's just the first place loser. I mean, Spurs think that they've had some great season because they finished 2nd. It means absolutely nothing. It really doesn't mean anything.
For me, you only get remembered for what you win.
Yeah. I mean, the League Cup didn't mean a hell of a lot. I've got to be honest. I think the League Cup is a bit of a tin cup, to be honest. I said that at the time, but this one isn't. You go into the Champions League if you win it. The UEFA Cup has always been an important trophy all through my life. We've never won it, and we've won it. And people can try and diss the Europa League, but it's the UEFA Cup, and it's always been an important trophy. And you get into the Champions League with it. You get more with the Europa League than you do get anything in the Premier League, apart from winning the Premier League title. So,
I've got to say, I think the League Cup has played a pretty important role for us this season, because it's given them confidence to win a trophy playing, I'm not going to say fantastic football, but decent football. And it's given them the belief, again, to believe that they can win a big one again, because it's been so long since we won a major trophy.
Yeah.
So I think the League Cup, in Jose, as we know, likes to win the League Cup as well. So, I mean, it instills that confidence in the team, and it brings that togetherness in the team, which has been lacking for a couple of seasons.
I think Johnny in 909 makes a great comment here. He says, without being brilliant, it's been an exciting and successful season. And I think I love that. I absolutely love that, because I love the fact that the only comeback from our bitter rivals will be, you park the bus, you do this, you do that. And you know what I would say to them? Yeah, we probably do, but we won't be doing it next season. And we've done it. We've done it. We've apparently played rubbish football, parked the bus, and yet we've won the Europa League, we won the League Cup, we were robbed in the FA Cup, and if we put the ball in the back of the net in the league, we would have been comfortably in the top 3. So from a team that's not doing very well, we've done pretty well. And Mourinho will be aware, as every single one of us are. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and say that he's not made mistakes and we've been brilliant this season, because the Premier League has been an embarrassment, to be honest. But we've still had a successful season. And as Mourinho said himself, it's been the toughest season he's ever had. You don't need to scratch very deep to figure out why. He hasn't got the squad he wants. He's been let down by some players. He's inherited a very weak squad, and he's still done that. And as Draughty said, and as I've said a lot this season, for me, he's still the best manager in the world. And I think this summer, the scary thing is, next summer you'll see what Mourinho wants to do with Manchester United, because this summer's all been a bit of a test.
He's back. He is back. He's been grouchy all season ever since he left Chelsea in an absolute mess. He's brought it back, and that smile tonight, I hope he takes that forward into next season. I hope. And Ross, you said obviously with the Super Cup he's not going to want to lose it against Madrid. I think because it's obviously on the 8th of August and the transfer window doesn't close until September, he's going to want to try and get all his transfers done early, because obviously that match is quite forward. So expect the next couple of weeks, and definitely June and July, to be ram full of action. It's going to be one hell of a ride next season. To be honest with you, just sit back and enjoy the ride, everyone.
It's going to be fantastic, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm just... somebody just asked me to have a quick look at something. David Beckham's Instagram post, legend, love him. He says, "Tonight was more important than sport. Yes, a big night for Manchester United, but an even bigger night for the city and for our country. At a time when we are grieving for the families that have lost loved ones, we have a sport that has brought a little happiness at a difficult time. We pray for peace." I couldn't put it... I love David Beckham.
What a comment.
Yeah.
What a comment.
Yeah. And I think I couldn't put it better, and I wouldn't want to put it better than somebody for me who, growing up, I just love the bloke. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I love the club. I love our fans. I never understand the infighting, and I love everybody who played tonight. I'm just full of love, and I think that is something that a lot of people have felt since the horrific thing of Monday night. It's brought compassion out of everybody, and it's nice to have a bit of joy, and I don't think we should be guilty for celebrating it, because it's our way of life. We love football, we love Manchester United, and nobody should be allowed to take that away from us. Can everyone still hear me?
Yeah.
I whacked the microphone by accident. I think some people wanted the game to be postponed. I respect why, but I think 100% it was right to do it, because our way of life should not be stopped by these people. And I think it's a brilliant post by David Beckham. I'm going to go through the guests. Thanks, Marcus. Absolutely superb. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, just just great to be involved with the channel, and can't believe the amount of subscribers it's got since I joined last year, and been fantastic.
Is that what you're trying to say, that we've got loads of subscribers because you came?
No, I'm just saying the amount shot up. The amount it shot up. It's amazing. So
I'm only pulling your leg.
Fantastic, and I hope next season it's bigger and better things.
I'm just glad we're going to be in the Champions League. Ross.
Yeah, do you know what? I just want to say I can't believe the amount of subscribers it's had since I've joined. Obviously, here because of me. So,
oh God!
thanks for subscribing. No, and honestly, look, there's 4,500 people watching. So if you can all hit a like, that'd be fantastic. If you like me, because I am the greatest. But no, honestly, Marcus, Draughty, the effort you put in is fantastic. It's great to be a part of it, and what a win for United.
I would echo that. I mean, you know what? Even if you've put one comment a year, you're still part of it. We were the first channel to think about putting a live chat thing on there. I'm sure others will follow, but I think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to YouTube, because I've always said it's your channel. Alex, again, has been dug out a few times tonight, but he says, "Oh, why do you always say that? I hate it." I said, because it is. Because I've got a job, everyone's got a job here, and we're just United fans talking about United. We're not interested in bloody media careers or giving up our work to do it. We do it because we're passionate, and that's why the United Stand works, and that's why I would never do pre-recorded content for a live chat. 2,000
likes. Get in.
Because I love the interaction. But, Draughty, over to you.
Again, I just want to echo Ross and Marcus's comments. Everything's down to me. Obviously, Mark, I make you look good. Without me, you wouldn't look half as handsome. Actually, there's a lot of makeup that Mark goes on, before he comes onto his show. He's got a trailer outside, a whole makeup team, his voice coach as well, Danny. He's a great guy. No, I'm joking. I just winded him up. I just want to see his face. Now you know, like I've been on what 2 years now, and I mean it started off as a bit of fun for me, but now it's something that I do take seriously, and it's just so much fun doing it. And you know, me and you've got jobs. Obviously, the other guys do too. I do this in my spare time, but it's something that I felt I could have an impact on. And it's not about me at all. You know, I just like having guys talking about Manchester United. And, you know, if there's 4,000 of you watching and 4,000 of you aren't subscribed, it doesn't take 2 seconds just to hit the red subscribe button and everything goes up, because, you know, we're only going to pump out more stuff that you want to hear. Transfers, Mark's always on there. And to be fair, right, whilst everyone's watching, Mark, you are the driving force behind the channel. And you're the reason everyone comes on the channel. So without blowing smoke up your ass, over to you.
I just want to say thanks to everybody who comes on. Marcus for that today. Ross, we've got a set routine that works really well on the watch-alongs, and I'm going to miss it, but we will be back. We'll be back sooner than you think, actually, but we will be back. It gets really busy in the summer, so don't think it's the end of anything. It gets really busy. I've done 2, and it's going to be a great time. Thanks to Jorty for all the graphics. I think having the trophy beside me all night has been great, and now we get to keep it. To the person who said before we went live, take the Champions League picture down, you got berated a little bit, but now you understand why. It wouldn't have been my fault if we didn't qualify for the Champions League, because I've got a picture next to me. You know, one thing this channel is a risk taker. We stand by it. Like I said before, there's a lot of stuff on the United Stand timeline that's not been deleted all season, and for the last 3 days, it's been going mad for retweets of stuff from December and January where I was saying we'd finish above Liverpool. And I tell you what, we did. They won't accept it, but technically we did. 4th place is not as good as winning the Europa League and going straight into the group stage. So I was right anyway. I love the club. I love the channel. I love everyone who gets involved in it. And you know what? The channel works because it's real and it's passionate, and it's echoed by everyone who gets involved in it, whether it's the guests I've got tonight, the people who aren't here, or whether it's you lot on the live comments, or whether it's you lot who aren't watching live, who will watch the video in a couple of hours, tomorrow, at work, whatever. It works because it's real, because you take the time to do something in your time to get involved in this channel, and that's why it works, because it's real. It's not about pleasing corporate entities. It's not about trying to get famous. If it was, I wouldn't say half the things I did. I know how to do it. I could play for likes. I could pretend. I could do all sorts of stuff, and I never will. I'll always do it the way I want to do it, and we will always do it the way we want to do it, which is real. And as people have said, are you going to give Fellaini some... You know, Fellaini was here now. I'll give him a big sloppy kiss, because he was fantastic tonight. But I don't go back on the things I've said. I don't think he's a first-team player to win the Premier League. But tonight, everyone gets a free pass because they were fantastic. So... thanks, everybody. There will be a transfer show at 7 a.m. tomorrow, don't worry. But, as I keep saying, enjoy the moment. Don't let it go. It will go at some point, but grab onto it, keep hold of it, and don't forget it, because tonight is history. It really is. And we've never won this trophy. And don't underestimate how close we were to this season being a failure. But we're in the Champions League, and it feels great. And we are Europa League champions, and it feels great. And I'll tell you what I will leave you with. Mourinho up at this stadium tonight in front of the crowd. He gets it. He's got it before. I've seen him banging the badge, but he gets it. And those people who think Mourinho needs to go, I tell you what, if you get what Manchester United's about, that's half the journey. And also, he's a fantastic manager. Back tomorrow, 8:30 tomorrow night's your show. I'll go live, Skype in, it's your show. Back tomorrow 7 a.m. with a bit of transfer update. It's opened the doors for that, because anything can happen. What an evening. Fantastic. Love it. Brilliant. I'll see you tomorrow. I can't say anything more. Brilliant. And thanks to all my guests. You're all great. We've got @Hazard90 on Twitter is Ross. @DrawtyDevil is obviously Drawty. Marcus, what are you? @Marcus.
I knew you wouldn't remember it.
@Marcus Feed.
No, at mad_Marcus13.
I don't even follow him, so there you go. I do really.
You've always got to take a jive at me somewhere, haven't you?
At United Stand MUFC if you want to follow. I didn't even shout my own out. I don't need to. I've got way more followers than everyone else. But what I nearly called myself a. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. But very, very happy, and the you know, Don't let it go. Always remember tonight. Thanks for watching.